What is up? What is up, everybody? I am sorry it's so late. It is a super late one, and I almost didn't do this, but uh, I had a little life happen. But it is what it is. I figured I better jump on here real quick and do this. I've been hearing more and more people talking about the rifle again, the 30-06. So, so I put together some clips and stuff that I thought were pretty telling, and I think that what I've got here should be enough to convince most people. Um, and it doesn't get into a bunch of technical BS, but it is clips from mainly from two different special forces, former special forces. One, most everybody probably knows, Nate from Valhalla VFT, and the other one is a British Army sniper, and I cannot think of his name off the top of my head, so he'll have to give me a pass on that. So anyway, yeah, we'll go through these clips real quick, and we'll talk about them, and then we'll jump off here. We'll make it short and sweet, but I wanted to put this out here, so because I got something else I want to talk about tomorrow night. So without further ado, and you know what, actually, before I jump into the clips that I had planned, let me play these. I got a couple other clips here I wanted to play too. I just about forgot about, so let me play this one first.
But here's the problem that I have with all this. All right, so if
Now, I want you to realize who's speaking here. Yes, boys and girls, this is Gary Melton from Paramount Tactical. And just listen to what he's about to say.
he doesn't have plates on his plate, we're saying that a 30-06, and I know there's a question of even whether or not it's 30-06, and I'm perfectly fine entertaining those things as well. But regardless,
we'll talk about that a little bit later.
We have a rifle round that we're saying that we have a direct neck shot. Well, any rifle round, I don't care if it hits vertebrae, whatever else, we're going to have an exit wound. And that exit wound is going to be significantly larger than the entrance wound. We're going to see profuse bleeding right away, just like we saw. Everything that we saw in the front, we're going to see at least that in the back, and we never see that. And
Is that so, Gary? What about that? That is absolutely amazing. I wonder what changed his mind so drastically, especially since there's been no new information that has come out in the past 6 months. All we've got, well, the only thing we've officially gotten is that the court documents that came out months ago. So, yeah, wonder what changed his outlook on that, gave him such a change of heart. Couldn't have possibly been some TPUSA cash, could it? Allegedly. And hey, maybe it wasn't cash. Maybe he'll be at Amfest next go around. Who knows? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, All right, I'm going to play one more. Nope, not that one. Sorry.
saying, it hit his collarbone. A collarbone is not going to deflect around like that at 30-06 either, or really no. Even any.
Maybe a pistol round. Maybe right? You could maybe entertain. But a high-powered rifle round is not going to deflect like that off collarbone. So let's.
That collarbone was there.
Oh, did you hear that? Gary said it wouldn't even know that collarbone is there. But we're supposed to believe that, and Gary has told us that we need to believe this. We're supposed to believe that this same bullet that would not even know the collarbone is there, this same bullet was allegedly went in and then hit one of those little bitty vertebrae in the back of the neck and then made a 90-degree turn straight down and then got lodged in one of his vertebrae. Look how stupid do they think people are. Oh, I guess some people maybe are, but not us. We know better. All right, I'm going to get back to my clips my other clips that I wanted to watch. These are a little newer clips, and I think that y'all find these rather enlightening and entertaining. And just so everybody knows, for anybody that doesn't know, Top left, you got Jesse on fire. Then on the right, top right, you have heavy duty country. Then on the bottom left, you have Nate, Valhalla VFT. And then here on the bottom right is JD Delay. Now, the one that I put the most confidence in what he says would be Nate, obviously, from Valhalla, because he's ex Special Forces. But now Dan knows what he's talking about. He's a gun nut. I mean, big into guns, really knows what he's talking about. So anything either one of them says really can be taken pretty seriously. Okay. Fire in the hole.
At this point, with all the stuff I've looked into with doing the Charlie's Alive series, it's like I can say pretty confidently that it's either Charlie's Alive or TPUSA really was involved in whacking him out, which I find.
And I'm going to go more than likely with the latter, just so everybody here is clear.
Extraordinarily hard to believe that these guys would conspire on that, but yeah, Discovery would get them into.
I don't know.
Think about what Candace has claimed. Discovery, she gets to go get access to all their shit to see if what she said is true. You know what I mean?
Yep. You get to subpoena everything and everyone.
Yeah.
So where do you think Charlie is, Jesse?
I have no
idea. He's like in the mountains somewhere?
Tell me, bro. He's in
I don't know why it's so hard for him to believe they would do that. Like, money talks and bullshit walks. That's just the way it is.
Tel Aviv, just like Big Jeffrey.
That is possible. I thought about that as maybe, the whole thing of I'm leaving the Jewish lobby, all that stuff would be a pretext to where no one would ever think that that's where he is or something, maybe.
In other words, all the change in his stance on Philadelphia and Philadelphia having these interventions with him, and all the stress and the pressure from the Philadelphia donors, all that was just a ruse to, make people think that he surely wouldn't go to Israel, and that's where he goes. So yeah, anyway, this is way beside the point. I figured I'd let that play for a minute though, just so y'all could hear a little bit of that, just in case you have not heard Jesse's series yet. I like Jesse. He is a really, really good, content creator. Got a super good delivery, all that, but I just can't do the Charlie's still alive thing. I would love to believe that, but I just don't. The main issue I have with that is that to assume that is true is automatically taking all of the suspicion, all of the seemingly, dirty dealings and all the things with Erica, all the blame, possible alleged blame, off of all of them. Just blanket. They're just bad actors. None of the rest of it's true. That's where you have to go to, that's where you have to go to believe this line of thinking. So I'm just not there. I'm not going to say I couldn't get there, but I just don't think he's still alive. All right, let me hunt this next clip up. Okay, here we go.
What do here's one that's going to be controversial. We're I don't know.
I love controversial.
5-6 months in. What do you guys think? We know what Jesse thinks. He just did a 5-part series.
Yeah.
What happened to Charlie? At this point, what do you guys, if you had to give your real take on what happened to Charlie, who killed him, how it was done, where are you guys at?
Israel. But how though? You know what I mean?
Come on, JD. Why don't you tell us how you really feel?
I really like the idea of I don't know. I think there was some in Discord where people were talking about it or something, and Tyler I think he was in it, and there was an argument that he wasn't the shooter. He was just there and on the roof, and maybe they tricked him in going on the roof because we saw the video. He's not carrying a gun, so it's and it's not his backpack. He didn't, put it together, take it apart, and then throw it in the woods, re-put back together. So I like the theory of he was kind of, I don't know, I guess lured there by somebody, and then somebody else took the shot, and then they blamed it all.
Dan, that was my theory on day 3.
I remember hearing that. You said that, and I was like, that's a fucking sharp take, dude.
That's exactly what I thought. And this is why I said it. And this was like day 3 or 4 with the 30-06 because it didn't make sense. But I started running my brain through how would I action this target, which is kind of fucked up to say, but with my experience. And I was like, well, if I wanted to pull this off, what I would do is probably get a kid like Tyler Robinson and tell him, hey man, we need you to stash the gun here in the woods for the actual shooter. The actual shooter is going to show up. He's going to grab the gun. What I need you to do is I need you to go up to the roof of the Lo-Fi Center. That way you can keep an eye on what's happening and you can report back to us. If anything bad happens, then all of a sudden, boom, gunshot goes off. Charlie Kirk gets shot in the throat. He panics. He takes off running off the roof. He's got no gun with him. And then all of a sudden he stashes the 30-06 in the woods that we now know very clearly was not actually put there by him, and it has 5 different people's DNA on it. I said that on like day 4, and I think it's starting to look like there's a decent chance. Dan,
had you heard that the dogs, the gun finding dogs couldn't find it before?
And one really, really important point: there's a lot of people, but Jack Posobiec is one of the biggest ones that keep saying you don't have to worry about any of the other evidence. None of it. None of the rest of it matters. All that matters is Tyler Robinson's parents helped him turn himself in. And the reason for that was because he saw a picture of the gun and recognized it as being Tyler's granddaddy's gun. And so that's what made him realize that it was Tyler. And it even says something to that effect in those court documents that came out. But that is absolutely not true. There's no way that can be true, because at that particular point in time, there were no pictures of the rifle out there. Now, shortly thereafter, pictures of the rifle came out, but then we find out later that it's not the rifle. It is just a 30-06 rifle. Matter of fact, one that just so happened to have a rifle box with it there for the photos. That rifle that everybody has, passed around the picture of is not a 1908, German Mauser. It's a more modern deer hunting 30-06. As far as I know, a 1908 Mauser never came with a synthetic stock. So, the BS about his daddy saw the gun and recognized it and then really knew it was him, that's bullshit. And, yeah, I mean, that's all there's to it. It's bullshit. There's no way.
The FBI, I literally had never heard that until last night.
I was going to do a whole episode. My live stream tomorrow night is going to be really breaking all that down we use as Green Berets, we use bomb dogs on every combat operation we ever go on. Like, I'm very, very intimately familiar. And I've had dogs find the craziest shit IED related, like on target, where you're just like, there's no way that dog would have been able to find this fucking like digged out basement 3 feet below the ground that's got a massive cache of explosives. Those dogs can smell explosive debris from fucking a mile away, dude. A mile away. Like, if that 30-06 actually, I don't want to get too into it because I don't want to give away a lot of this because it's super.
And I think a mile away is way, 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 way understating it. I believe that a mile away would be, I would say it'd be more like miles away, especially something that was freshly fired. Maybe some old, a small amount of old residue, maybe a mile would be pushing it, but especially something fresh fired. Yeah. I think miles would be more like it.
Super interesting. I was watching, I think it was Jimmy Dior, maybe Jesse, maybe you guys were talking about it with the bomb dogs. And I was like, oh, there's so much good shit here that people really don't realize. That's like the idea that 30-06 was just used within that day to take that shot, but a bunch of bomb dogs couldn't find a 30-06 that just shot high-powered rifle rounds. Nah, dude.
That's exactly what I said in my video. I was like,
and guess what? They already looked for it. They had the bomb dogs out there. And then all of a sudden, mysteriously, the FBI shows up. And just a few minutes later, there's a radio transmission that says, oh, hey, we found a gun. Just about tripped over the damn thing.
I could smell it. I could smell it if it got shot an hour ago and it's sitting there. Fuck it.
They could smell that shit from a literal mile away. That dog could track that 30-06 down. So
I'm really interested to see what the defense for Tyler Robinson is in this, because I feel like Robinson is just like a degenerate retard that like they absolutely used. Like, he's clearly
baby.
Like what? And I know someone who's close with people at TPUSA, and they've told me, inside source, that the prosecution has a video of Tyler Robinson taking the shot.
Bullshit. It's bullshit. I don't know. I definitely could be wrong, but I do not feel like I'm wrong on that. I feel like we would know that. Let's see. While I'm finding this next clip, this seems like a good time for me to remind everybody, if you're watching but you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Definitely hit the like button and share. I'm a T-Tiny channel, brand new, and so I need all the help I can get getting this pushed out there and getting it in front of eyeballs. When you're this small, YouTube doesn't really they don't really help out much. So y'all help me by subscribing and liking and sharing, and then eventually maybe YouTube can give me a hand getting it out there. Okay. Think I got the right spot.
When I look at him, I'm like,
I don't know, man. I just don't know. Like, Jesse and I obviously have done a couple of videos on this, and I just don't know if a guy like Tyler Robinson, I don't know how much he shot, but dude, that is a tough shot. And we were out there with no distraction, taking our like sweet.
Now, actually, you know what? Let me pull another clip in here. If I've got it. Hope this is the right clip. Let me see if this is the right clip.
Wow. That's a good visual. That's a good visual. So just from your knowledge across the spectrum and your own visits, do you feel there's any misconceptions that you're seeing repeated over and over and over again that have spread really far that in your opinion are pretty easily debunked?
Yeah, and his name's Tyler freaking Robinson.
Or opposed?
Yeah, there's been a cycle of people taking very normal things, or maybe even slightly abnormal, and then turning them into suspicious items, right? One of the things that really struck me on the ground there was exactly how easy this entire thing was.
Do you hear that, right? You heard that. He said it was easy. Super easy. I'm going to let him finish.
Before I went there, one of the things that was being portrayed was like this was, some big conspiracy. It's very complex. You need professional hitmen. It's 140 yards. It's so far, all these things. Now, I knew the distances was nothing, especially for a scoped rifle. I mean, that is, my 8-year-old son was going to courses with us shooting 1,200 yards. It's not hard. And then once you see the layout of the campus, look.
Okay. God, I feel dumber. We're going to go back. We're going to go back to Jesse and Dan and all of them, Nate. I'm not even going to say that much about that. I've made this point a bunch. And so I'm just going to let these guys keep talking, and they'll explain it probably better than I can. But this right here is the absolute God's honest truth. This right here will preach. People are missing the point. It isn't just the distance.
Time. Like when I don't know what it's like, but I imagine your adrenaline's through the roof.
Yeah.
And then the whole story about him taking apart the gun. It's like, oh, okay.
You know about
Let's
that
take
too.
apart
What I was thinking about the taking apart the gun that I was going to ask you. Do you guys remember in the story where it was like, oh, they took the gun apart? Was the gun still assembled when they found it in the chicken coop, or was it disassembled when they found it? Do you guys know?
No.
The chicken coop?
I can answer that question. The gun was assembled. There are a lot of people that are there's a lot of people that have been talking about how they keep on saying the same thing about how he put it together, then he took it back apart when no, he didn't. Suppose it, and I'm not, look, I don't think he did any of it, to be honest with you, but that's beside the point. The official story is that he had it taken apart. He carried it up there in 2 pieces. He put it together. He took the shot, and then he ran with it all in 1 piece. So, according to the official narrative, which stinks, he took it apart, put it together, and that was it.
Like when law enforcement supposedly recovered the rifle, was it fully assembled or was it half broken down? Or do you understand what I'm saying? Like, was it in 2 pieces or was it still assembled when they found it? Like when the FBI.
I could probably find out inside information on that. I have a source that's tight with TPUSA.
The reason I ask is just
it would make no sense. Why would he? What is the point of afterwards you breaking the gun down? Like what is
no sense?
There's I mean you just shot it. The goal is to get away. Like you have the gun. You're gonna have to get rid of it regardless. Like your time is everything in that situation. So why the hell would you be like, oh, let me get a screwdriver out and fuck around with this, and then
here's why.
If I get caught.
Yeah.
Here's why, brother. To make the narrative that it was old fuckboy that took the shot makes sense, because every
old fuckboy. Is he talking about Gary? That's not nice. Okay, let me move on to the next clip. And this one is going to be more Nate than anything.
I don't think it was Tyler Robinson, man. It's just too high level.
No.
It's just too high level of that's a tough shot, man.
It's a tough shot.
I mean, it's not a tough shot if you're shooting like an IPSC target, but if you're trying to hit a neck.
And here we're going to go into details about why it's such a hard shot. Again, it's not just the distance. As a matter of fact, the distance is a very, very, very small part of it.
It's not easy.
Yeah. And think about this too, like, and with like when we set, I thought of a $150 as a very easy shot until we were at your ranch. And like when you're actually looking at it at 150 and then you imagine all those people, there's so many people moving around. There's so much distraction and all that.
Right.
Nate's like laughing. He's like,
Nate's like, it's an easy shot, guys.
Dude.
He has no audio though. Like Nate,
There's
no audio.
There's no audio. Nate,
turn on your microphone,
Nate's
brother.
just talking
that
away.
sweet new mic you got.
No, yeah, I'll let you know if it comes on. But yeah, like
he left. He rage quit.
No, he's been trying to fix it. He's been in and out a few times.
All right, are we good?
Yeah, we're good now.
Yes, we can hear you.
Fucking
Thank
brand new computer crashed. I bought all this brand new shit to not have this happen. Okay, timeout. No, Dan, I'm not going to say how easy that shot is. I'm going to do the opposite. As a guy who's fucking shot people in high stress environments, everybody thinks like, oh, this was an easy 140 meter shot, and it's like, yeah, while you're at the fucking flat range shooting an IPSC, like Dan said, that's a super easy shot. Let's think about the conditions of this. There's 3,000. Am I lagging? What the fuck?
You're lagging, but we can hear you fine.
God, I don't know what's going on. Sorry.
Now, what's the difference between him and Gary? They both have the same background. They both had pretty much the same profession. They are both ex-special forces, and not only that, they're both former Green Berets. So, wonder what the difference in the two takes is. Something to think about. You think maybe that Gary's doing a little back scratching? Maybe he got that same email that I read y'all last night.
Sorry, guys. You got 3,000 people. You infiltrated. You snuck to the top of the roof. You're about to take a shot to assassinate a high-profile person. You know the likelihood is you are most likely going to get fucking smoked the second you take this shot. You are going to die. 9 out of 10 times you're going to die before you leave this scenario. Think about the amount of adrenaline that's going through your body as you're underneath that glass. Charlie's moving around. He's doing this, right? He's not a stationary target.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
This is not the easiest fucking shot in the world when you start. And keep in mind, this is for someone like me. Now we're talking about a 22-year-old kid who's got no background other than, he shot a little bit, maybe hunted a couple times. And he's going to take the most high-stress shot fucking ever. Is not as easy as people think. And Dan, you guys know this as people that shoot. One little twitch off that shot, and that round move is fucking 8, 10, and 12 inches. You could easily move a head box, a throat box, right? This is 4 to 5 inches. One little slight miss on that, you're going to whiff the target. Now you've let off that 30-06 round. Everybody knows where you're at. Everybody's taking cover. It's an extremely high stress environment. It's nowhere near as easy as people are trying to make it out to be. Is the shot itself potentially easy? Sure. But in that context, fuck that, dude. Especially when you know you're probably going to die after you take that shot.
That's why
I don't know.
I mean, words of wisdom. I could not have said it better myself. Absolutely. Preach it. I don't remember if there's anything left on this clip. I will play it a few more seconds.
Bro.
Jesse, I think we should do another one.
Yeah, they just start going into what they want to do to test that. Let's see. Okay, let me find this next one here. I probably should have clipped these things out, and I apologize, but this was kind of impromptu, I guess you could say. So I didn't really have time to do all that.
Being from below, I don't know. I mean, it's still hard to believe it's any level of rifle round.
Ooh, did you hear him say that? Wonder what it could be. Maybe an exploding road mic, road wireless mic.
Because there was no exit, but
when we shot, the only thing we shot that stopped in the road.
And we just heard Gary say himself right out of his own mouth that he saw absolutely no way that it goes in and doesn't come out. Matter of fact, he said, if you want me to believe that, you're going to have to explain those physics to me. But he sure is convinced now that it was a 30-06 and it just got stuck in his bones of steel.
Roast was from the little sex worker gun, and we shot a hollow point 380 entered a roast about this big and didn't exit. That's like the only round that we shot that didn't go through that.
I mean, even like Dan just brought up, even a 5.56 round, dude, at 140 meters. Dude, I've watched 5.56 rounds canoe fucking skulls, just blowed skulls out over and over and over and over again. It can.
Sorry about the graphic nature of some of this.
Can happen. I mean, I've had, one of my buddies came on Green Beret that literally got shot in the spine by an AK-47 round, no exit wound. The difference with his was he got shot high up in the spine and it tracked like 32 inches through his body and then stashed in his.
Now, I want to pause there for just a second. I want everybody to be really clear on this. So he said that he got shot by an AK-47. An AK-47 is a 7.62 by 39. There is a round it's the kind of the Russian version of a 30-06, but it's a little bit smaller. And that is the 7.62 by 54, I believe it is, maybe. Something like that. And it's close, but even it's smaller than a 30-06. 7.62 by 39 is like this much difference. Big difference. So an AK-47 round is going to be way less foot-pounds of energy. It's going to be way less feet per second. And it is going to have way less penetration. So he was just saying that this guy got shot, and I believe it, but said that he got shot by this AK, and the angle that it hit him, it went in and it tracked through 30 inches of his body. It followed his spine 30 inches. And that is 30 inches of straight, solid muscle and bone and everything else. But yet we're to believe that the 30-06 round, which is so much bigger, so much faster, and so much more potent than that AK-47 round, we're supposed to believe that it entered the skin, went through what is, for all intents and purposes, a hollow piece of meat, and then hits the little brittle vertebra in the back, make a 90-degree turn, and then get stuck in one of them. I mean, he would literally have to be Superman. And I'm sorry, as much as I loved him, he wasn't. And just that story right there just goes to show you how completely insane the idea that the story they're telling is accurate. It's just no way.
his ass cheek, right? And you're like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, right? It's not as strong as a round as a 30-06. It tracked down his spine. It traveled 30 inches through flesh. It stayed in his body. But that's not the story of Charlie Kirk. The story of Charlie Kirk is a 30-06 round hit him in the throat, tracked 4 inches, and then lodged in his T1. It's like, when we start looking at that, then it's like, there's situations where there's going to be no exit wound, but a human neck from 140 meters with a
that is not one of those situations.
30-06, that's not one of those situations.
Yeah, a piece of lead.
I swear I didn't know he was going to say that word for word. That was I guess great minds think alike.
3,000 feet per second is not stopping. I mean, I don't know if there's like a human. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think there's a human neck on Earth that has any shot of stopping a
Some NFL linebacker, maybe, but I mean, no, that the average 30-06 round has to go through 30 inches of flesh before it's stopped.
Is that right? 30, that's like 30 inches?
Yeah, and you're talking about a moose, and that's because it's going to go through a fucking moose, dude. This 30-06 that's sitting right here has gone through and through a fucking moose's chest. This one, and this is a World War II Browning 30-06 that my grandpappy gave me, just like the grandpappy's old rifle, right?
Yeah,
kill elk and moose with that all the time.
And it was stopped and got lodged in his neck in 6 inches or less of neck and throat. I'm sorry. No way. I was born at night, but it definitely wasn't last night.
I mean, how can we make this a little more realistic as far as what we're shooting?
Okay, we're going back to the test they're wanting to do. So let's go on to the next one. And I won't keep y'all too much longer past this. We are getting there.
Here's real quick. I didn't mean to interrupt, Dan, but this also bugs me is that people are like, their side, the Zionist side, the TPUSA side, you're not allowed to criticize Erica. Hold on. In any fucking high pro.
Yeah, so this isn't directly related to the 30-06. I forgot what this clip was, but this right here explains my sentiments perfectly. I say this all the time. Everybody acts like you're such a piece of shit for asking questions about Erica and or Turning Point. And you know, it's law enforcement's fault. If they did their job, all these questions wouldn't be out there. If they would do their jobs and start with the people that were closest to Charlie and then work their way out like it always goes, like every single other homicide investigation goes, then guess what? Public trust would be a whole lot more, and there wouldn't be people like me that are just yelling from the rooftops. You've got to look at these people. Like, if there's nothing there, why are they scared to be looked at? Why can't they just be cleared and go on if there's nothing there? But obviously, with all of these TPUSA and some of the hacks that, you know, got that email, it's like they're just trying to carpet bomb everybody that's even got questions. And so, you know what they say about when you're over the target. So I'm not sure exactly what all we're going to find there, but there is definitely something there. And I feel like it's going to be really closely related to Charlie and his demise.
Profile murder case that's highly suspicious conditions. Who's the
not just a high profile murder case either, like a murder case, period. It doesn't matter if it's high profile, low profile, or halfway in between. When you investigate it, you always start with the spouse because they're the closest. You start with the spouse and then work your way out from there. Sad of a fact as it is, very rarely do people that don't know each other kill each other. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be somebody familiar to you, somebody you trust. And that's just the way it is. Yeah, every now and then you get some random something, you know, robbery gone wrong or whatever. But most of the time, it's going to be somebody close. And I doubt this is going to be any different if we ever get accurate, honest answers.
First person that's investigated
Always.
100% of the time, the spouse.
Dude.
And somehow Erica Kirk gets off that. It's like she gets this special treatment that no other spouse. If either any of our wives or girlfriends were smoked, who's the first fucking person the FBI would investigate? Us.
Mm-hmm.
So Candace brought this up, and I thought this was an excellent point. But if the roles were reversed, and Charlie was just someone who I had never known about Erica before any of this, but if he was the same situation as Erica, and she was the big name, he for sure, at the minimum, with all of the crap that has came out, would at least be brought in to be questioned.
You could not convince the world that he didn't do it in the inverse.
Right.
That even if there was the most incontrovertible evidence ever that it was someone else, in a reverse situation where she's this huge star, it's like Oprah or something, and Oprah gets killed, and then Oprah's like, like person you've never heard of, and all of a sudden is like, "Hello, I'm the new Oprah." Everyone,
I'm the new CEO of the company.
Yeah, that's
dude.
true. I just thought about that.
Dude,
That's
a
funny,
great
actually.
point. If the roles were reversed, it would be completely different.
Dude, now that you think about it, like take the optics away of this situation. Think of any big CEO anywhere. Oh, he died, and his wife took over the company 3 days later. It's like, well, what are her qualifications? What are her qualifications she has done?
More suspicious, dude.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's
and it was
incentive.
instant
What was your
too.
incentives? Oh, now you're in charge of the $250 million company,
and they made that decision like within 36 hours. It's like, well, wait, what's your role been with TPUSA? And she's like, wait, what? And they're all, you're the CEO. She's like, you didn't even nothing. Like all these guys have been working with him. Like, and even if you wanted to play like, like what about a different female? Stacey Sheridan is 100,000 times more qualified to run that organization than Erica. It's like there's no plausible explanation that makes any sense.
Hold on, what's Erica's qualifications to run a $500 million fucking company?
She did a reality TV show. Duh.
I've got a master's degree in business. Like I'm not even qualified to fucking run that company, dude. I'd have no idea where to start. And I'm 1,000 times more qualified and educated than she is on business, and I'd be overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
from a business standpoint, thinking about if I was in the company at a high level, no company is going to be like, oh, so the CEO died, the wife gets ownership. Yeah, the wife gets ownership. Let's put her on the front page of New York Times. That way we get more business. It's like it may work for a little bit. You'll sell, a little more for a while, but then it's like, what the fuck is she doing in there? Like
it's insane when you think about it. Yeah.
Every single situation like that where you go, what the fuck is going on? If you insert my hypothesis, you're like, well, I guess that would.
Okay, we're not inserting your hypothesis about Charlie being alive. Anyway, they kind of cut up with it, and made it a little light. But at the end of the day, everything they said was right on point. It is that ridiculous. It is that retarded that it went the way it did. He dies, and just a couple days later, bam, she's the CEO. She's dabbing the corners of her eyes, and she never blows her nose, and she never has to wipe. She just takes the corner of that little Kleenex or whatever and just dabs the corner of her eyes. You had a day or two of that, and then next thing you know, she comes out in a glittery pantsuit with fireworks spraying out of her ass. And that's where we've been ever since. So I am going to change this over. We're going to hear from the British guy. That won't be too long of a clip, but I think it's definitely worth watching. Because look, we hear these guys, or I do anyway. I see these guys, hear these guys a lot. And so when they say stuff like this, it just kind of reinforces what I already believe to be. And these guys have pretty much stayed on point. They're not like Gary Melton that kind of did a 180. But it's nice to hear somebody that is totally disconnected, totally not like has been completely out of it, to give his honest take on it. And I thought it was a really good take. So. Whoops, not that one. I apologize. Okay. Sorry, guys, for the delay, but that clip is coming up. Fire in the hole. All right. See what you guys think of this. I thought it was a very interesting take. I thought it was a very good take. And he kind of honestly surprised me at how far he was willing to go with I'll just play it. I'm not going to ruin it. I'll probably stop and comment on it, but okay, here we go. Fire in the hole.
Enough people can afford to buy a book.
You got that right. And some vintage clothes while we're at it.
Yeah, I like the idea of that universal. What does he call it?
Universal income.
Yeah. That makes it. Dubai do it, don't they?
I believe so. Yeah. It's an interesting conversation for sure.
Yeah.
And this guy is like one of the number one British snipers ever in history. Like, I believe they said that he had more confirmed kills than anybody, or at least in the British, realm. That may not. I don't know how he stacks up with our guys, but anyway, he is a really, really decorated sniper. He really knows what he's talking about. He's not just somebody that's talking out of his ass.
It sounds like you don't pay real close attention to the news, but
Yes.
have you tracked at all with like the Charlie Kirk shooting and like from a sniper's perspective, any big holes or kind of, I'm curious even how it's represented over there, if it's something that's talked about a lot or if it's not, or.
Yeah, it certainly was when it first happened. Yeah, I've been asked about it on a podcast before, whether I thought it was a trained shot or not. The answer is I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it was a trained shot. I don't know, but it could have been. I don't know.
By that, do you mean that there?
That's what I was just about to say. Look, he said he didn't think that was a trained shot. Just pay close attention to what he says, because what he is not saying is that he thinks it was an amateur making this shot with this 30-06. Just pay close attention.
There's a much deeper conspiracy, the exploding microphone or some other, it wasn't an actual sniper shot. Is that what you're alluding to? Or?
Yeah. I think.
Oh, shit. Did you hear that? He said the exploding microphone. Some deeper conspiracy. Is that what you're alluding to? And he goes, yeah.
A sniper shot, I don't know. Very close for a sniper shot.
Well, what's fascinating to me is that, you're one of very few people that behind glass has taken that exact same shot, right? And saw the aftermath real time, 100% knew you did it. So I guess I would ask, from what you saw in the video of the Charlie Kirk assassination, did that match up with at all what you saw when you dropped that guy?
No.
What were the differences?
There was a lot more mess when what I saw. A lot more mess. And yeah, it just seems so clean and surgical. I don't know. I just struggle with the idea that was a sniper that took that shot. Yeah. I don't believe it. I think there's I think there's more sort of. It's a slippy road to go down there, the conspiracy one, but it's possibly. Yeah. I know if I was no, actually no.
Taking a step back.
Let's rewind that.
Yeah.
If a sniper was to make that shot, it would be between the eyes or in the mouth, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so, I guess the one thing, obviously he wasn't. This is taking for granted or making the assumption that rifle is used and that young man pulled the trigger. Obviously his level of training, which there wasn't much, is nowhere near what yours is. So there's of course going to be a bit of a apples and oranges comparison there. But to me the burning question for I think a lot of people, whether it's you or other, I've had FBI snipers, special operations snipers on here giving their kind of commentary on it, and it seems to be a recurring theme is that all of you guys tend to gravitate towards the same conclusion, is that something seems off.
Anybody that knows what they're talking about and is intellectually honest. So again, I ask Gary, why are you trying to convince people that it is perfectly normal and happens all the time for a 30-06 to go into a neck and stop.
You know, which I think is important to consider. I mean, when you're talking to guys who have taken that shot in a real world environment a number of times, all tend to gravitate towards the same conclusion that this doesn't line up. You know, like to me, that's
right.
Yeah, I mean that should be considered at a minimum. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
I suppose. Yeah.
But you can't even talk about that. You're going to taint the jury pool.
It just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem that the movement of the body, you know, without going into too much, but it just doesn't seem right when a round hits someone, especially where, you know, there.
Well, and that was close too. But compared to all of your shots, you're talking a fraction of the distance. Now, granted, the round wasn't quite as nasty as the one that you used, but it was plenty nasty.
Yeah.
You know,
well, that's it. Yeah, you thought there'd be more repercussion in the body.
Yeah, and the velocity at that distance is going to be more comparable to the velocity that you're hitting somebody with at a fucking mile away. You know, so
yeah, that's it. Yeah, you know, like our rounds were flying at something like 1,280 feet per second or something like that.
So he made a boo-boo there, and he will correct it. Remember, he is British. They do their measurements in metric, so everything goes by meters, not feet. He said feet, but that's not what he meant. So basically, you're talking about 22 rifle speeds at 1,280. So at 1,200 meters per second, that would be, you know, roughly times 3. So you'd be looking at 3,600 feet per second.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. I would think there would be like 3 times that. I mean, even a 5.56 is running 3,500 feet per second. I mean, it's screaming. Now, granted, it's a smaller round, but I would bet that you're...
Didn't I know meters?
Yeah, feet. Yeah. Meters. Yeah, meters would be about the same. Yeah, if it's 1,200 meters per second, I mean, that's hauling ass, you know, so...
Hey, just so we know, I was the only sniper that had to use a calculator.
That's the good news.
True story.
Yeah. Do you keep in touch with any of your sniper buddies that you served with?
Yeah.
Have you guys talked about it at all?
All right, that's that. If y'all don't mind, I have to back this up one more time. I'm sorry. I want to hear that first part one more time. When I heard this, I was like, oh yeah, I have got to share that.
It's a slippy road to go down here, the conspiracy one, but
there was a lot more mess
like the Charlie Kirk shooting and like from a sniper's perspective, any big holes or kind of, I'm curious even how it's represented over there, if it's something that's talked about a lot or if it's not. Or
yeah, it certainly was when it first happened. Yeah, I've been asked about it on a podcast before, whether I thought it was a trained shot or not. The answer is I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it was a trained shot.
Here it comes.
I don't know. It could have been. I don't know.
By that, do you mean that there's a much deeper conspiracy, the exploding microphone or
He specifically said the exploding microphone. Out of all the conspiracies out there, he did say the exploding microphone. And whether he'll admit it or not, since he said that especially, I think it'd be pretty safe to assume that he at least sees that as a viable explanation for what we witnessed.
Some other, it wasn't an actual sniper shot. Is that what you're alluding to? Or?
Yeah.
I
think a sniper shot. I don't know. Very close for a sniper shot.
Well, what's
all right, guys. I think that's enough. I think I'm proved my point. Maybe you didn't believe it to start with, but I hope if you did believe in the 30-06 theory, I hope after, hearing some people talk about it, they actually know what they're talking about. Hopefully, you don't believe that anymore. I got a couple videos I've done on the exploding microphone. If y'all are not familiar, if anybody's not familiar with that theory, and I've actually got some more stuff I'm going to cover on that coming up. So, but yeah, no way, it was not a 30-06. No way, no how. You're not going to convince me otherwise. And, everybody acts like we're such assholes for asking all these questions and digging in like this, but we just want to know what the fuck happened. I mean, seriously. He was a national treasure, an absolute national treasure. And even people that really didn't follow him that much and you know, weren't just huge Charlie fans since, I mean, they're working on this the hardest. And so, yeah, you know, I listened to him hard and heavy for a while and then started kind of backing off a little bit because I kept getting the vibes that he was just so pro Philadelphia that I just couldn't take it. And I kicked myself for that because in hindsight, looking back, digging through and watching a bunch of his later stuff, I realized that there was, like, he was growing. There was a transformation happening there. It was slow but steady. And so, yeah, I wish that I had never wish I hadn't ever stopped watching him there for a little bit so I could have seen the whole transformation step by step by step. But I don't think there's any doubt at all that he was changing. And maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he was a truly great man. Done a lot of great things, and I hate that he's not here to keep doing them. And you know, they talk about dragging his legacy, us dragging his legacy through the mud. I'm sorry, but there is not one single person or entity in this world that you can blame more for dragging his name and his legacy through the mud than his widow and all his hand-picked circle that's around him. There is nobody else that you can blame for his legacy being dragged through the mud than Erica Kirk and Turning Point itself. And that is so sad, but that is just the way it is. All right, guys, I could sit here and ramble on forever. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not. Definitely like the video. And share. Please put out the word. Tell everybody to subscribe to this channel. Yeah, the more attention we get, the more eyeballs we get, the more YouTube will help me get this stuff pushed out there. And yeah, we need to turn this into something really big and really cool. So, not that it's not cool right now, but you know, shoot for the stars. All right. Well, y'all have a good night. What's left of it. And I will plan on seeing you back here tomorrow night, preferably a little earlier. If not tomorrow night, though, definitely Wednesday night. But yeah, let's tentatively plan on tomorrow night. I'll see y'all guys here.